What's going on YouTube? My name is ginj-tcg or Chris, and today I'm back with a long-form Pokemon Pocket video with the new full set Space-Time Smackdown. We have cooked up a new Dialga Melmetal deck. If you have not seen Dialga EX, I think this card is going to take over the Pokemon Pocket meta. With the Metallic Turbo attack, you do 30 damage and take 2 Metal Energy from your Energy Zone and attach it to one of your benched Pokemon, which pairs perfectly with the single prize Melmetal from the base set. With the hard code ability, you take 20 less damage from attacks, and for 4 energy, you swing for 120. So when you're at 130 HP, and then you take 20 less damage from attacks, you are tankier than so many EX Pokemon in this game. Swinging for 120 allows you to take massive KOs on things like Pikachu EX, Starmie EX if you pair it with Giovanni Celebi EX, and Mew EX since you could get up to 130. Dialga EX doesn't have a bad backup attack either. With the heavy impact attack, you can swing 100 damage onto your opponent's active for 4 energy. So if you have Dialga in the active, use Metallic Turbo, and then you could attach energy to another benched Dialga, you can force 4 prize card games, or 4 point games I should say, pretty often. Now, I don't have Skarmory, which I know has been a popular inclusion that a lot of people are speculating will do good with this Dialga. I mean, the set came out today, right? Just the fact they got 2 Dialgas, I was pretty stoked about it. I didn't get my Skarmory, nor did I get my Rocky Helmet, but those are definitely cards I would consider putting in the deck. So besides those, this is the list I've cooked up that I think is going to be the most consistent, allows us to be the most versatile, and kind of get after the best. We're playing Research, Poké Ball for your standard, just kind of draw support plus Pokemon search. I mean, Research will draw you 2 cards, Poké Ball will allow you to search for a card, and I've chosen to include 1 copy of Pokemon Communication. So if we have a Dialga in the active and we have 2 Meltans on a turn, we might not, after like the first turn, in the middle of the game, we might not actually need a second Meltan. We actually could use Pokemon Communication and then put a Pokemon from our hand, so essentially our second Meltan, and then get hopefully a Melmetal out of the deck since you are given a random Pokemon. So if we've thinned our deck pretty well and we're trying to look for Melmetal, I just figured this is as good a way as we're going to get to like search out an evolution type Pokemon, especially because we're only playing 2. So once we use a Pokeball plus our active, or even 2 Pokeballs, I mean, the chance of using Pokemon Communication and hitting that Melmetal is actually pretty high. So I have chosen to include this card in the deck. We are playing 1 Giovanni and 1 Sabrina, which are pretty standard. You guys know what they do. Pokemon Pocket's been out for a while now, and these cards have been out since the day they came out. Sabrina is like your boss's orders in Pokemon Pocket, where your opponent chooses the new active Pokemon, but it does get their active out and swapped with one of their bench. Giovanni, I mentioned, gives you 10 extra damage. Cyrus is the new boss's orders, the new gusting card in the format, and I'm super stoked to check this one out. You switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon that has any damage counters into the active spot. So this card, although you have to already have done damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon, you actually get to choose which you would like to see in the active. So this is going to be a massive inclusion into a lot of decks that I think will help change the format a good bit with just this one card. So I think I'm going to make probably a few more long form videos because I've got some good decks I really do want to show off. On top of that, we also have 1 copy of Dawn, which is a new supporter in the set as well, where you move an energy from one of your benched Pokemon to one of your active Pokemon. And since we're playing 2 attackers that both need 4 energy, I figured, you know what, if I can move an energy from the bench to the active, especially on a turn where there's not necessarily a better supporter, Dawn could be a ton of fun to experiment with in a high energy cost deck like this one. Even though we do have Metallic Turbo and a Mass, which actually I forgot to mention, you just get a Metal Energy and attach it to this Pokemon, so you get an extra Metal Energy attached and in play. I figured a Dawn might not be bad just to move an energy around. You never know how the games are going to go. We are playing 2 copies of Potion to heal 20 damage, especially against those single prize decks. If we can use that to heal damage off Melmetal and allow it to tank even more hits, I think it will be even better and get after it. And honestly, you could take 3 points with 1 Melmetal alone, especially when you pair it with Potion and the new Giant Cape. Where the Pokemon this card is attached to gets 20 HP more. And that doesn't sound massive. It does boost Melmetal actually out of the 150 max HP. Just to break that down, hard coat, you take 20 less damage from attack, so if you add that 20 damage to Melmetal's 130, you have to do 150 damage to one-shot it. When you smack on a Giant Cape, you're effectively at 170 HP to one-shot, which if you think about it now, Mewtwo EX can't even hit. So the fact that Melmetal can now live a full side drive attack from Mewtwo is actually kind of nuts, and one of the main reasons I think Melmetal is a perfect pair for Dialga. So with that being said, let's get into today's video. I am definitely excited to get back into some Pocket videos. And before we do, just wanted to say, got that TCG Player affiliate link. So if you want to check out TCG Player, get any singles, decks, deck accessories, doesn't matter what card game, it's on TCG Player. Click my link in the description down below and support the channel that way. Thank you so much to everyone who's done that. And Rogue Regionals February 8th. So if you are a part of Pokemon Pocket community or the Pokemon TCG community and you want to watch some fun main TCG decks, all the Rogue decks in one massive tournament, my buddies and I are all streaming a big tournament in my apartment where we're all playing some cracked out Rogue decks. At the end of this week, I will be posting the list, because that is actually next week. It's on February 8th. I will be posting the list of decks in that tournament, so definitely stay tuned to that stream. It's going to be epic. I've got a bunch of giveaways planned, so I'm super excited, and I'm really hoping that y'all can tune into it. It's going to be a ton of fun. Now, with that being said, let's get into today's video and show off how well Dialga EX can do. Welcome to match number 1. I open up with a decent hand, and by decent I mean I led Meltan, and I believe it said I'm going second, which is good. If I'm staring down, it's because I got my iPad, which I'm playing from, and I still don't have necessarily the best way, I think, to show off this deck, but I promise I'm going to be trying, and I'll pull up all the cards my opponent is playing in case anyone needs to see them. They are leading Ghastly, which tells me they got a Gengar deck, which has a super fun ability, and possibly a card I need to look into. For now, though, I should have enough time to use a mass, play research, hopefully get a Melmetal out, and that will let me get after it with my, Melmetal as soon as possible. Then a mass, a manual attach, and evolution. My opponent's got to evolve twice, so I hopefully should have a little bit of time. From my experience, I feel like you always want to go Poké Ball before research. You just want to thin the deck one card and then see what you could get off of that. Getting a Dialga here is actually kind of nuts too, so we'll definitely smack that guy down. Attach the energy to Meltan. I don't have a Leaf in hand, nor do I want to. I can't Metallic Turbo yet. A mass is definitely the safest play for us, and a giant cape honestly doesn't feel bad either, but I'm just going to hold that in the hand for now. For now, we'll just rip the mass, get 2 energy attached, see what our top deck brings us. But if nothing else, I could just amass again, get all my energy set up, and then I could start working on getting Dialga EX set up into play. My opponent's evolving into the Haunter now, which can swing for 30 damage. It is a little problematic and curly. Alright, well, that's kind of annoying that they actually had both the middle evolutions needed out of 5 cards in their hand, and they'll swing for 30, which we could heal. I mean, we've got 2 potions. I definitely need to use one of them. Top deck Pokeball is nice. Not exactly what I'm looking for, but that's okay. We get another Meltan. And I think this kind of brings me to that scenario I was talking about, where I'm just going to hold this in case I get another Melmetal. We'll put an energy on Dialga, and then I'll use 1 potion. If my opponent evolves into Gengar, I highly doubt they're playing the single prize Gengar with Bother. It only does 50 damage. I feel like there's going to be a Gengar EX deck. If they evolve into Gengar, 1, they won't have enough energy to attack. 2, I mean, we might be a little stuck if they get Gardevoir and then they are able to get enough energy to attack, so I don't think that's totally worth it. I think the best play for us is just to amass again, get energy attached. Hopefully we top deck Melmetal on the following turn, and then I'll, use my giant cape, use my potion, kind of try to heal through whatever damage I've taken at that point. Ideally, though, we just see a Will-O-Wisp. Ideally, my opponent doesn't have the most insane hand, but I take that back. Now, I cannot use any supporter cards. And I am staring down a Gengar EX, so whatever potions or anything I draw into are not going to save me here. Pokemon Communication would be great. I got 1 more Dialga, but I do have 2 Melmetals, so the chance of getting a Melmetal off a Pokemon Communication, since I could get rid of Meltan, is exactly why I play the card. And there's the Dialga, so alright, we'll figure something out. For now, how do we do this? You know what we could do? We could attach an energy to Dialga, retreat here, since it's only 1 retreat cost with Meltan, promote Dialga EX, and just subtle flex. I mean, come on, this is like one of the best cards I got out of a set of packs I bought. I mean, you gotta see, I'm not free to play anymore. I did get the Cynthia background, the new set coming out. I figured, if I want to make some content for the channel, I do need to get some cool cards, and to do that, I had to spend a little bit of money, get that Cynthia background. But from it, I mean, check it. Like, y'all watching this video, y'all clearly tuned in to see this guy right here. So we'll get after it with the cool Dialga EX. My opponent's gonna go Spooky Shot, swing for 100, do some solid damage onto us, and we still cannot play any supporters, which is going to prove to be very problematic. For now, I think I'm still kind of stuck on what the best play for us is. Probably going to be a Metallic Turbo, get 2 energy onto Dialga, so I'll just start attaching to Meltan since Dialga will be fully set up after this. I'm not going to play any other cards from the hand just yet. We are also going to be short a KO, assuming I don't top deck Melmetal. Or Pokemon Communication, because at that point that'll just instantly give me Melmetal because it's the only Pokemon left in this deck. I'm playing 2 Meltan, 2 Melmetal, and my opponent is getting a second Gengar down. Alright, I can see how this deck could be a little annoying for us. I definitely didn't expect this. This was not the meta I thought I would swing into, and there's another spooky shot allowing my opponent to take 2 points, getting them that much closer to victory. Not being able to play supporters is really kind of annoying. It's really causing things to be a bit more difficult. We'll promote the Meltan and Prey, and Pokemon Communication is the exact top deck I was looking for. So just to show off this play, we'll use it. Get Meltan back in the deck because I really don't need this guy at this point. And now I can get myself out Melmetal, the single prize Pokemon that will lead me to victory. I believe in it, man. I believe in this card. We'll attach the giant cape just to get this Pokemon boosted 20 more HP. I don't see full value in using the potion because we'd only heal for 10 damage. So I think I'm just going to hold on to a little bit longer. I'm just going to swing Heavy Impact, swing 120. From what I know, they have nothing in play that can actively one-shot me. They can use Mew EX this turn, assuming they get Gardevoir. They can Genome Hacking. We would only take 100 damage because of our ability. And since their Mew EX is 130 HP, and if Mew EX is the Pokemon they're leading with, that just means Giovanni is going to allow us to one-shot their active Mew. So Giovanni definitely proven its worth. Let's get Melmetal back on the screen on the left side just for people to take another read if they need, and there is a Gengar. Alright, so this is where things get scary. I'm curious to see what my opponent does. If they retreat and go into Gengar, oh, I was going to say, that could be cause to be a little problematic because they would actually stall out a turn of attacking and then they could attack, which could ruin us. But no, my opponent's just going to go in with the Mew attack, which will seal it for game number 1. All we have to do is play Giovanni, get up to that 130 number, and that's why only 1 Giovanni is needed, because you take a couple points with Dialga, you take a couple points with Melmetal, you really only need to boost the damage once. We're a tanky deck. We can live shots, which means we're comfortable two-shotting and closing out a quick and straightforward match 1. Let's hop into match 2 and prove just how good this new combo is. Welcome to match number 2. I open up with the cool Dialga EX, and I'm going second, which is good. So I'll be able to get some extra energy attached, and my opponent's playing the new Lucario deck. Oh, I'm so hyped for this. This is going to be a fun matchup for sure. I have yet to see, I say a build with Lucario, that's just because I haven't looked into it too much, so I'm very excited to see what my opponent's playing, and they do just draw past there, which is fine by me, definitely not complaining. Will use research here before attaching the energy. I don't want to attach it, I don't know what else I'd attach it to, but for now, never mind. Yeah, this is, I think, actually, like, the most perfect start. We got Cape Melmetal in hand for next turn. Next turn, I'm going to attach to active, use Metallic Turbo, already get 2 energy down onto Melmetal, and just get it beefy. Never mind, it's gone, just like that. My opponent is playing the new Hand Disruption card, which that's actually not a bad hand to draw into. We'll make it work. What is it, Mars? Yeah, it's Mars. Okay, so Mars is a super fun one. Definitely thinking about making some decks that include this. I could see this being an insane card in the late game. Your opponent shuffles their hand into their deck and takes a card for how many points they need to win. So if your opponent needs 2 points to win, they'll get 2 cards. If they need 1 point to win, they will only take 1 card out of their deck. So that is an insane attack, and I think I like the Pokemon Communication play here. If I could force the Melmetal, I would love to, just because we have Giant Cape, and that was kind of what I was hyped for. So we'll put Dialga back in the deck and see if I could get Melmetal EX. It's not an EX Pokemon, it's a single prize Pokemon, although it feels like an EX with how solid it is, and we are able to get it out with Pokemon Communication. I'm telling you, that 1-up is nuts. Like, that 1-up is legitimately what's needed to close this out. They also got, what fossil is that? The Skull Fossil. Okay, so I don't even know what types of attacks come from the Skull Fossil. I know we're evolving into what? Rampardos, I believe. 2 energy to attach to a Melmetal. Excuse me, I forgot. So we'll look up Ram here. Rampardos. What do you got? Head Smash. If this Pokemon is knocked out by damage from this attack, or opponent's Pokemon is knocked out, this Pokemon does 50 damage to itself. That's actually the most average Rampardos attack I've literally ever seen. This card is nuts. Does some solid damage every time. 1 energy, 130 is disgusting. The ability to KO itself, a bit problematic, but just about what I'd expect from it. So they are going to get the cape down on themselves as well, and Lucario. Oh my god, wait, so they're gonna do 20 more damage. They're actually swinging for 70 for 1 energy. Wait, this is actually kind of a nuts combo. They'll KO our active here, and we're gonna have a tough follow-up from there. I could use double potion. Double potion would put me at 120, but if they evolve, they have the KO anyways, so that doesn't really feel worth it. I think I'd rather save them for Melmetal at this point. We'll attach to active just because I don't know what my opponent's going to do. Yeah, because we'd be at 120, assuming they evolve. They did 70 damage right now, so they're not taking a KO if they just swing with Cranidos. If they go Rampardos, they're doing 130 damage. We're dead no matter what. We'd have 120. We're going to keep the potions. Melmetal needs them. Melmetal's our tanky Pokemon. Our Dialga did everything it needed to, and that is good chip damage and 4 more energy in play. So while my opponent only has 1 energy in play, we have 7, and yeah, there was the evolution. I figured they had it in hand. They also have the Cynthia sleeves. They had the good vibes like that. They are going to potion up, get to max HP, which I don't think is going to change anything. They're going to use their attack. They're going to take a KO, do 50 damage to themselves, which will put them in KO range of our Melmetals, and they're taking 10 less damage from attacks. Wait, no, because they'll have 110 HP from Head Smash, and then we're doing 120, we should still be fine. Yeah, because now they're taking 10 less damage from attacks. So they have 120 HP to Oko, but that's exactly what we're doing, so we should still be okay here. We can deal with Lucario. Lucario is not going to do anything too insane. That's actually a fire top deck, too. I will definitely get that Dialga in play. Why not? It's never bad to have a backup attacker, as far as I know. If it allows me to feel a little safer, I'm going to do it. We could always attach, retreat next turn if I got to take a KO with Melmetal, and now my opponent is in a tricky spot. They got 1 card in hand. They got a top deck coming up. They will have 8 cards left in the deck. If whatever they draw into is not a basic Pokemon, we're winning next turn. I don't care what way you put it. There's nothing they can do that can stop us. Submarine Blow is swinging for 60 damage. We're taking 20 less damage from attacks. Wait, actually, does this? Yeah, no, there's 2. Okay. I'm just going to full heal to show off the power of this deck. If you swing for 60 damage, all we do is double potion, go back to full HP, swing for KO, boom, match closed. My opponent just conceded, though, so that is fine. Melmetal taking another MVP. I believe this was MVP in match number 1, too. So right now we're 2-0 with the new Melmetal Dialga deck. Let's hop into match number 3. Let's see if we can continue this positivity and close out the perfect record in the new Space-Time Smackdown format. Welcome to match number 3. We're going second with another really solid start. We don't have the best supporters. We're up against a dark deck, which, man, those are tricky. If it's another darker deck, it's going to be hard. They got the Cynthia sleeves, and we're seeing Spiritomb doing 10 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. All right, this is going to be a fun one. They're going to do some solid chip damage, which means Cyrus is going to be lethal in their deck. They got the dark energy, so it tells me it probably Darkrai. If I had to take a guess, it's what's new, and I'm assuming since the set came out today, there's going to be a bunch of fun stuff on the ladder, and that's why I was super excited to get after a good full-length video with Pokemon Pocket instead of a short, although there'll probably be a coinciding short with this deck list. And we top deck, not a bad card there. We do get a Giant Cape. I think for now, just going to hold the Meltan. Again, if I get Pokemon Communication, I'm going to use Pokemon Communication here. I think it's best for us to just pass. We'll Metallic Turbo next turn. We'll see what we draw into. My opponent can attach energy to Darkrai, do 20 damage. If they do that, they're not using Swirling Disaster, which is okay too. And they rip another Research. So they're down both Research. There's 7 cards left in their deck because they're using a Poké Ball. And I've yet to get a card in the discard because I've yet to get anything that's insanely playable. And there is the Weavile EX that I believe I mentioned in match number 1. This is going to be a tricky deck. Weavile does more damage. I believe if your opponent's active has damage counters on it for 1 energy. I don't know the exact amount, but we could look it up. I mean, I've got Limitless right here. I might as well use it. So we'll go Weave. And Weavile EX, he'll swing for 70 with Scratching Nails for 1 energy. It's actually like a really good attack. Okay. Definitely going to be tricky. It has 140 HP, so it is out of one-shot range, and Pokemon Communication is going to have to clutch up one more time for me. I really need it to come in big here. I need this Melmetal down kind of ASAP. So we'll see what I can pull out with it. Never punish. Literally never punish. I'm telling you, it's the most clutch card. That and Dawn are the most clutch cards in this deck. I feel like they're the 2 most underrated. Like, the 2 most, why are they in the deck? You could probably live without it. But then you play them, and you're like, no, I get it. This makes sense. For now, we are just going to use... I mean, if my opponent goes in with a... What do you call it? Red card. Or Mars, because that's the scariest thing, too. I'd be pretty scared. I'm just going to play Melmetal there. I'm not going to use the potion until I need to. I'm just going to Metallic Turbo here. Do some good 30 damage on my opponent's Spiritomb, and we'll see what's in store for us next turn. I could Metallic Turbo again, attach an energy to active, doesn't feel like a bad play. I could use a potion on my active and get it at full HP. We have 150 HP, so if they go with Swirling Disaster, they go in with the Sabrina. Okay. That's annoying, but we can work with that. And they're going to evolve, aren't they? They got the Weavile play. They do. Okay, so it's going to have to be a Leaf type of turn. We're going to have to go back in with the Metallic Turbo and the Rocky Helmet. We could deal with the Rocky Helmet. Do they have a second Sabrina or Cyrus on lock like that? They might. Cyrus, I'm actually surprised they play Sabrina, not Cyrus. With Swirling Disaster, I feel like you could just, you're going to do damage to everything. You really could just, oh, that's a game changer. How much damage do they swing for? 70? Minus 20 is 50. Yo, actually, Dawn is nuts. Dawn is so insane. It's not even funny. So we're going to heal 20 here. We're going to attach an energy to our active. And I'm just going to use Dawn. I mean, I was going to go Leaf and just use Prime Metallic Turbo again and set up. But, like, why? You know, we're going to do 120 damage. We're going to put them in KO range. We're not in KO range. They're swinging for 70. But our ability is going to make that 70 a 50. 70 plus Darkrai is the 90 damage, because that's 20 damage with Darkrai. That is what was scary, and they're just going to go in with Spiritomb again, which is not a card I'm scared of at all, because we're actually taking 0 damage from Spiritomb because of our ability. My opponent is going to potion up on their Weavile, which I don't think is going to change anything. It is going to take it out of KO range from a Metallic Turbo, but we have Cyrus in hand, so I'm just going to bring that Weavile back up. Research is kind of nice, but I'm not too scared of anything they've got in play yet. I think we just want to take 2 points here. They could go in with another Weavile next turn. That could be a little tricky. We would be at 70 HP. All right. Yeah, we're not out of the water yet. We're not. We're close. Did I attach an energy that turn? I hope I did. I think I did. I don't think I had 2 energy. No, I definitely did. I got an energy down on Dialga. If they have Weavile, they could take the KO. They'll do 50 damage with Weavile. They'll use the Darkrai ability for 20 damage. That's kind of all they need. Rocky Helmet would do it too. If they evolve into Weavile and attack us, when I attack them, I'll take 20 damage. Actually, no, they can't use Darkrai's ability because they do need an energy down on Weavile this turn. That's huge. Oh my god. Thank gosh for just this deck being so solidly consistent. Dude, I don't even know what to say right now. What's the play here? I got 3 phenomenal supporters. So if I go in with Sabrina, if they promote Darkrai, they got a 2 retreat pivot. I could just swing onto Weavile, but then I take 20 damage. That's kind of problematic. I think Sabrina feels good here. I could even... Nah, Leaf isn't in play. Research for Potion would be nuts. I'm going to Sabrina. I think Sabrina puts them in the toughest spot. They either have Leaf or they don't. They have to give us Darkrai. It's got 2 retreat. So they can't attach retreat. They could use the ability. The ability would take the KO. But that's okay, because they can't do anything after that. And all we have to do is promote Dialga, use Dialga, close out the game with Dialga. Pretty straightforward from here on out. My opponent's taking 0 points. We've got a very substantial lead. Again, we see a Leaf or an X-Speed, or we don't. There is a good chance they have one. They're going to use Nightmare Aura, get 20 damage down onto our active. Just going to pull up that Darkrai again, just because right now it's their active, and it's such a solid attacker. So, Darkrai. That ability is nuts. Allows them to take a point in the middle of their turn, potentially get another Pokemon in play to attack right now. And, of course, they have the X-Speed. Alright, now's where things get bad. Now's where things get very bad. Because they're going to swing for 70. Do we lose because of that Sabrina? We might. I've played only 1 potion. A potion and a Great Cape could save me here. Could save me a good bit. And we get Giovanni. Giovanni's not going to save me too much. It's up to this research. I mean, I either get something solid or I don't here. We get another Dialga and Great Cape. Great Cape is not going to save me, though. It's going to put me at 80. All they have to do is attach an energy to Darkrai and then swing with Weavile. And we'll be fine. Yo, good match for my opponent. Good match for my opponent. Maybe I should have just swung into the Weavile. KO'd myself. Would that have been a better play? It might have been. Because now Darkrai took a hit, and I think they won because of that. Yeah, it might be a misplay on my end. That's how it goes, man. I mean, I didn't know how to navigate this deck that well. I didn't know how many X-Speed or Sabrina they played. I decided, like, chancing it, and, I mean, I'm getting absolutely punished for it. My opponent's got 2 cool Darkrai's, a Weavile EX, and the Spiritomb. It's safe to say that they got an insane amount of packs because these EX rates were lowered, and it's proven to be well worth it. I mean, they got a nuts deck. This combo is something I definitely need. I'm not even close to getting it. I can make a deck showcase on this deck, a short, if people want to see that. I definitely can't get a full-length video right now on Darkrai, but after this match, you're going to see one in the future. Because this match was winnable. It was winnable. I think it comes down to that misplay with Sabrina. I probably should have went research and looked for a potion. That Great Cape could have made a difference, too. I should have looked for cards like that. I don't think Sabrina was fully worth it there, so that's my bad. 2-1, though. With Melmetal on a misplay where that could have changed the outcome. That's big. That's big. I hope you guys enjoyed this deck. I definitely enjoyed playing it. I gotta put Dialga back. I mean, you know, we gotta get this guy back on screen on the left side. We got Melmetal in play. Even if you're looking at defeat, don't look at that, obviously. We got Melmetal, we got Dialga. This deck is a ton of fun. I mean, if you want a new deck to play and you happen to have 2 Dialgas, it's really all you need. Just to get the combo, and this combo is what's so strong. The trainers we could definitely play around with. I think a Rocky helmet could have been fun too. I just happen to have 0 of them. But in the future, I might have to revisit Melmetal maybe for a short with an updated deck list. But for now, just an early Space-Time Smackdown list. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I definitely had a ton of fun playing it. A ton is what I was going to say. Not close. A ton of fun playing it. So thank you guys. For real, I appreciate you and this community that we've created. It blows my mind just how much fun it is to share this space with you guys. So thank you guys so much. And again, Rogue Regionals, February 8th. Definitely tune in for that. It's going to be a ton of fun to watch. And I feel like I've been saying that so much now that I stumbled on it. So I apologize. I'm done. I got to stop. Thanks for watching. Stay epic. Peace.